always wanted. Instagram got everyone fucked up, and just thinking that you can kind of just like jump into entrepreneurship without some sort of strategy or plan, right?
I feel like a lot of people jump into whatever craft they're in, they just have like a vision. They don't really have like a vision on what steps they need to take to get there. So I feel like just having an overall vision, like what you want, and like planning it out, and not just like just they gonna throw stuff on Instagram like, oh, people's gonna book me. It's like egotistical to think that way.
The biggest thing for me, I think, was fear. Quite frankly, you know, like a lot of times you might have a good idea and it might sound sweet. You might even bounce it off a couple people that you're cool with, and it's like, yeah, this is a good idea.
They gonna yes man.
Why haven't I done it yet? Got all the pieces, got all the people supporting me, but I haven't done it yet. Why is that?
I think so many people have good ideas, great ideas, but there is a shortage, or there's a space for executors and doers, and I think that's where that's where the difference like lies.
Need to trust in yourself. Need to realize that you got something here that obviously people are still checking for, because they were still reading from top to bottom, whether they were laughing at To Die For or not.
Being, you know, growing through the pain of caring what people think. Like that's probably the biggest one, because once you get to the point where you don't care what anyone says or how they think, then you know what I mean, the sky's the limit. It's because you're only accountable to yourself, and you only care about, you know, doing your best. Like if someone says,
like I said, no matter what industry, there's the three roles, and so the quick 3 roles is there's the worker, then there's the manager, and then there's the CEO, and they're thinking about the future and how to expand it. And the reason these businesses are failing is because they're only covering 2 of these roles instead of all 3. And you need to make the business automated. And the business that we see that's like long lasting, like Apple, McDonald's, Google, Nike, Foot Locker, anything. The reason they're successful is because you can take their system and put it anywhere in the world, and they can have somebody fill in that role. You can be a McDonald's right here in Times Square and go to McDonald's in Tokyo, and the system's gonna be the same. It might be different workers, different languages.
So you was talking about like the 3 roles, right? And I'll use that to just kind of like go into screw the agenda. Know what I mean? So there's people like that may have their business is just them. Right? Like it's just
I'm like
your business is just you. Like shout out like God bless my shorty. She mailed some of my merch out for me. But like other than that,
moving on.
Nah, but like
Continue.
like you were saying with the do-rag, like he had to get the order, see the order, pick the product, make the product, mail the product. Like, yo, I don't have time to be in FedEx. I have a day job.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to do like. And then my thing is, once you now, I say, yo, bro, I'm working, son. I'm doing my little business, yo. I need a nigga that's not working during the daytime. You ain't doing shit, right? Yo, go take this to the FedEx for me, bro. Yo, bro, what you got for me, son? Yo, everybody want, like, everybody look at you and see you shipping off an order and be like, oh, he about to come off with $10, like he about to make $10 on it. I want $5 of the $10 that he making on it, bro. I ain't gonna sell no more. Like my biggest problem is, I wouldn't say it's trusting people, but it's like, yo, how do I grow, get to the bag without giving up the whole bag, and the uncertainty of, yo, if the business starts to fail, you don't take the L. You didn't put up the bread to buy the product. All you was doing was taking it to the post office. Like, why? What makes you think that you deserved all of that, son? Like, how do y'all pick y'all teams? One, how do y'all pick y'all teams? Like the people that y'all really put right here on your side, like not the associates. There's a difference between friends and associates. How do you pick the people that's right here? And then once you pick the people that's right here, how do you keep them accountable? That might be a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that's heavy.
But you know what I mean? If we're gonna talk heavy, we're gonna drink heavy.
You can't keep other people accountable. They have to keep themselves accountable first of all. So I wouldn't even.
Don't work
Like
with
they gotta
friends.
see the vision.
No, I wouldn't even say don't work with friends.
So
the real estate thing that I'm doing now, like I got involved with that with one of my good friends. The reason I got involved with him is because he was strong in a lot of ways that I was weak. Right? So there were things that I brought to the table that he didn't have, but then there was knowledge that he had that, you know, as many books as I read, you only learn so much from a book. Like eventually you have to get out there and do it. So we balance each other out in that regard. But there was no reason for me to keep him accountable because he was invested in it just as much as I was. We both wanted the same thing. So that part just kind of took care of itself. But I think to answer your question though, I think the buy-in is the most important thing.
Okay. I think since you mentioned Diddy, which was interesting, is that because in addition, I think the bag has various forms. It has, it has
Coin purse.
financial. it could be financially.
Digital bag.
It could be, economic stuff like that. But it could also be just you as a person. Like when you talk about someone saying, "I'm about to get in my bag," right? I kind of think of that as the same thing as getting to the bag, in the sense that you are the bag. You know what I mean? Because with all the
self-actualize.
exactly, like with all the knowledge and stuff that you have, right? Say, you're doing everything at work, you get the promotion, you get the bonuses, but if you yourself are still unstable and not, you're not consistent, you're not a good worker, outside of that, then you might have got to the bag. I got the promotion. I'm getting the 6-figure salary, XYZ.
Right.
But you really didn't get to the bag. You're terrible.
Yeah, you're
still trash. You know what I mean? So like Diddy, for example, like his bag is more than just his net worth. It's him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you think that he's up when he's really asleep, because he secured his bag.
Yeah.
Which is, I make everybody around me think that I'm Superman and I could do anything, and they don't know that I'm asleep right now, whatever the case is.
He's every night. Every night.
Italy with cashing on the yacht, like
exactly.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, he definitely, he has his fun, he does his thing, but you think he's always working, right? So he secured his bag in that sense. So I think that, and to, touching on Diddy, I think you have to be, you have to just be relentless in business. If someone, like, people have to know what you're about and what you're capable of doing. Like, if you join someone on your team, like Bert, what you were saying, you got someone right here, you're like, how do you keep them accountable? How do you do this and that? Like, tell them what you need to get done. Tell them your expectations. Be very clear. Be very transparent. And when they don't reach that, just say, hey, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's what Diddy's famous for. If you're not doing it, you got to go.
Yeah.
And then somebody else will come in. You're not
Especially
working out, you
pay
got to
them.
go.
Especially
You're not working out, you got to go. You're doing okay, but you didn't do it. You gotta go until someone comes up and guess what? They're as crazy as you, and they say, I did. What's next? What's next? What's next? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
He really had me on a ride too. I'm like,
wow.
Like, where we going? All the way back to where we started.
That goes back to fitting the system. It's like you said,
yeah,
Diddy
bro.
got a system. You with the system or you out. That's
And
it.
now, there's no in betweens.
Yeah.
I also think with building a team, so for me, like with my businesses, there's not, I can't promise you I'm about to give you a whole check. Like that's not something I'm able to do right now at this point. But what I can, like even like Brunch and Grind, we just hired an intern and she's studying PR, she's studying marketing. I'm like, look, I can give you, you can handle the PR. So I think it's also about figuring out what people are working on and what they're passionate about and what they can benefit from it and what they can gain from it. So like anybody, like with Lincoln J, we have a board. I'm like, all right, you want to do events? You're interested in event planning? All right, help plan events. Oh, your background is in finance? Like, all right, boom, handle the finances for Lincoln J. So I think it's always about figuring out what people are interested in and what they're passionate about and kind of what they're looking to build on, and giving that kind of role to them. And that's how you can keep them accountable, because it's something that they're passionate about. It's something that they enjoy doing anyway. And they know that it's benefiting them in the future. So like one of the board members like, yo, like this is helping me with leadership. Like now I can go to my job and be like, yo, I managed the whole team. I managed, putting these events together. And so I think it's really about making sure that people can benefit and can gain from whatever it is that you're asking them to do. So that's how you can keep them accountable without throwing the whole bag at them.
Definitely, I think the same thing. My right hand man, my homegirl from college, her name's Roxy, and she, like, anytime you see a nice picture on my blog, like, I'm doing stuff normally with just the iPhone. Anytime you see a nice picture, it's because she came with me, and she was taking it, and it's because I understand her passion. I've heard her passion about it, but I also see that she has that talent. She has that raw eye for things. So I always bring her around with me. I always, she's always the one that, she's there with me no matter what. So having that person that really has that passion for it definitely, it makes all the difference.
Yeah. Talent only get you so far, honestly. Mm-hmm. If you're not working, because there's a lot of people that got talent and not working, putting in work. So if you're not putting in work,
Faith without works.
yeah.
That's dead, right?
Or that little Bible.
That's what I heard.
person.
I heard it was
it's
dead.
It's quiet.
At what point is someone like on your team, like you guys are a team versus they're on your team? Like I think that's something that I've been thinking through as as we're building. Like, am I really managing anybody, or are we just working together?
That's a great question.
Yeah, everybody be trying to get equity. You know what I mean?
Like we just working.
Well, I think that that's just transparency.
Okay.
You gotta keep it 100. I think that if you're not able to say like this is exactly what it is and what the structure is or how you're working with each other, like then maybe you're not ready to be in business as much as you thought you were, because that requires a lot of hard conversations. It requires a lot of removing ego. Or from just being like,
you can remove
I control
ego?
all these things and you do this and blah blah.
Believe it or
but
not,
sometimes you need to just kind of just take a step back and be like, yo, this is all you, right?
Right.
But I need you to give me give me an update as to like what we're doing, blah 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 blah. There are ways that people can report. There have been a lot of partnerships or just ways that I've worked with people where I report into them, but they've made me feel so comfortable that I've been able to just be like, cool, this is all the X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. They haven't micromanaged me. These are different things. I think that's just like the transparency of how you talk to somebody.
Okay. Let me pose a question now. We all in New York, in the tri-state area, we all, you know what I mean, I'd say I know all y'all from just happenings in y'all businesses, right? I mean, I seen you writing some reviews. I did a shoot with you, been to your events, seen your properties, seen everybody's things, but our goal isn't to stay in New York. Or isn't to stay right here, right? So, like, what is your innovation? What is your strategy towards becoming national? I want to be dead-ass Ghana, B. I really want to get out there and be powering some Ghanaian shit in Wakanda. Like, how do I go that? How do you see yourself going that global mile with, with innovation? Personal? Yeah. Like, how do you get that way? How do you get there?
I get global. I mean, I gotta get local first, and then I gotta get. I gotta start slow.
Exactly. Let me lock this up real quick.
Get local.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're not taking care of your little borough, and then you can't take over the city. You can't take over the world. I mean, so think small scale first. Eventually, I do want to get global. You threw the camera on me, so I don't got no global answer right now. Shit's hot.
You're so intimidating.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, scaling. I mean, I'm all about collecting small. Like I said, I'm all about automating my system. Like I got stuff on go that's making me money when I'm working. It takes a little longer, but it's proven systems and stuff like that. And I'm in it for the long run. You feel me? So, and also investing back into my business. That's gonna speed the business up, because I feel like a lot of people, they get a couple dollars and they out to brunch and shit. So, right?
Nothing wrong with no brunch.
Yo, come to my brunch.
Nothing wrong with brunch.
If you out to brunch, come to my shit.
You feel me?
Come to my shit.
Brunch plug.
I need it.
I feel all right. That came out wrong.
Nah, we feel that.
They get a couple dollars, they go get some
We get
sneakers.
it.
Right.
We only allocate our brunch
Rather
dollars
than
to brunch
reinvesting
and
that
brunch.
back into
Somebody
it.
listening
Like-
felt that.
But
one.
most
Well, somebody out there felt that. That was for you. Nah, but yeah, that part.
I just never want to be comfortable. You know, I just always want to keep thinking about what's next. Like, am I just gonna do food reviews? Am I just gonna be writing the whole time? Or
You doing your Anthony Bourdain shit, bro.
you know, I want to be the next, I want to be the Black Borden. That's what I've been telling people. You know, the Black Borden. I want to really travel. I want to experience different cultures, experience it with different people, invite people to experience it with me. I'm trying to really expose people to a different lifestyle, to a different way of thinking. So it's just keeping that mind, just staying driven. It's hard. It's hard to stay driven, especially if you're not seeing a return at that immediate moment. You just got to keep thinking like, oh, it's gonna come. Yeah. Every little comment is like $1,000 to me. Every little like.
Sorry, can I just jump in real quick? You want Bourdain to be the white Denzel.
Ooh! Let's go! That's love. That's love.
That's T-word making the dream work right there,
That's
man.
love, B.
Yo, that's
Yo, New York is the white Wakanda.
That's love.
Nah, he really sounds. Oh, he hit me.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
I would like to correct you.
I love that.
That was there, right
That's a big fact, though.
We about to lean towards the wrap up, and I just want to just talk about going with your gut. When your gut tells you, yo, you need to chill. You know what I mean? In the event business, you know what I mean? Sometimes my gut be like, yo, bro, cancel that event.
Keep going.
Like, no, my gut be like, yo, cancel. Like, yo, that location not really wet like that, like how you wanted it to be. Wet. But it don't really. But it don't like sometimes my gut tells me some shit and I don't listen to it, and then the results come out and I'm like, damn.
Lit.
Nah.
You giving me mad credit. But like talk about. I just want to hear y'all feel about like, yo, what is some shit your gut told you, and that you followed it or you didn't follow it, and the outcome.
I mean, for the most part, I say just trust your gut, yo. Just go with what feels right to you. It's like you said, we on the time we got Instagram, Twitter. I see all these photographers doing these type of looks. I'm like, damn, I should do that type of look. I'll hit on the gram. I know I can kill that way, but that's not me. That's not my feel. So go with what feels natural to you. Don't try to force anything, and just do it organically. Don't be fake with it.
I think you gotta. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I always take a why not over a what if. So if I try something and it don't work out, At least I could go to sleep at night knowing that I gave it a shot.
Yeah, facts.
Period.
And I also think it's okay to change your mind. Like, you can start something and decide this isn't your shit no more.
Like, nah.
And
I think that's actually really important to know is like when to bow out gracefully. Like, yo, this ain't it. Just like what you were saying with the location. It's just like that spot not lit, and I don't want my brand associated with a not lit spot. So.
Or not lit people.
Right.
At them.
So
slowly getting in his bag.
I got somebody I can at.
Nah.
You wanted me to do your event and you was wildin', bro. That spot was not it. You ain't have no clout.
Bag
you was gonna bring nobody to the spot.
Bag activated.
Come on, B. I can't associate that ass to that. That's
Call
not,
these niggas broke.
that's not that. Nah, my fault. Keep going.
Yo, but I think what you just said is pretty important though, because when you talk about following your gut, you got to think about why your gut is telling you what your gut is telling you. You know what I mean? Like if your gut is telling you like I shouldn't do that because this person isn't who they think they are. And I know that, or this spot isn't what he thinks it is, and I know that, then it's like, okay, my gut is telling me that for a reason. But if your gut is telling you like, yo, don't do that because you're gonna fail because you know what I mean, you don't know the odds or something like that, something where it's just like Josh was saying, like, why not? If your gut is telling you like, you know, it's basically fear versus, you know, your actual like, you know, your actual like
intuition.
Educated guess, your intuition. It's like that's your fear talking. Versus like your gut talking. When your gut is talking, it's telling you something for a reason. Like your gut's not gonna make you do something or think something for no reason.
Yeah.
Everybody need to take time to just know yourself. First of all,
Definitely.
know yourself.
No sleeping in the streets.
Of all the things that Drake has ever said, know yourself. Like people are so scared to take some time just with themselves in the mirror and be like, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What drives me? What doesn't? What am I with? What am I not?
Right.
And to really be honest with yourself. If you can do that and do it consistently, and then find people who support you in that, it just becomes way easier, man.
With following your gut, it doesn't necessarily have to, if you have a bad vibe about something, it doesn't necessarily have to be cancel the whole event. It's just question something. You know what I'm saying? You could be working with somebody that says, yo, I got this big social following. My post that I'm promoting get mad likes, but niggas be buying followers and buying likes. So you question it. You go through the likes of his last post and you're like, yo,
it's wild.
This acting is XX23.
It's mad bundle sellers. People selling bundles.
Exactly. So at least question it. At least question something. Bring up a question about why your gut is making you feel that way.
Okay.
And that's acting on it in itself. You know, question it. It's never
your gut isn't an indictment. It's just a request for more information.
Exactly.
Engage
and if somebody's real about their shit, with why they fucking with you, they won't have an issue with you asking the question because they'll have the answer for you.
I think in the beginning too, like I used to like use like my circle. I used to like use them to validate every decision I would make. Like should I do this? Should I do this event? Should I do this flyer? Like, and I used to just hit them with just so unsure of myself, and now I'm just like, yo, I'm just like, whatever I want to do, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm gonna just make that move. And I think every failure is a learning experience. Like, that brunch, that event, I could have did this differently, and like you kind of take those notes and like, all right, boom, next time I'll make sure I do this right. So I think people are afraid of failure, but that's a learning experience, and I think I really like try to take that and use it to better myself and better the events and that experience that people are getting the next time.
No losses, just lessons.
Yeah.
No losses,
Always.
just lessons. I retweet
Always.
that.
Retweet.
Ayamla.
Yo, so we, you know what I mean? That concludes podcast featuring everybody. Right now, I'm gonna give everybody a chance to just talk your shit.
Oh, wow.
Just talk your shit. You know what I mean? He about to hit the light. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ben and Carl, the curators. the curators of this right here. You know what I mean? Feel free to spread a word, gentlemen.
Yo, man, don't listen to everybody. Everybody is scared. That's my word for the night.
Yo, they already said it. You know, follow your guts. Yo, whatever everybody said in this room. There was so many gems dropped in this building. I love this whole event tonight, yo, because like these people that's in the grind. Like they said, fuck what Diddy was saying, fuck what Gary was saying.
Nah, yo, Diddy, if you hire a nigga, yo, I don't manage talent, but I just wake up and make your bed. Nigga.
Put my benefits on the boat real quick.
Hold on, some real shit. If y'all trying
How
to
much
work for
milk you
Gary,
need in your
Gary
cereal,
stay
bro?
hiring. So
I just seen Gary.
I'm working with it already.
That's crazy.
That's a shit talk.
Humble brag.
Already on it. Already on
What
it.
happened? What you said, man?
Already on it.
I just have one last question for all of the guests, yo, just because I think it's so imperative. We talked about everything from entrepreneurship to getting back to everything. Like, I want to know how people deal with uncertainty. Because I feel like it's such a big component with the entrepreneurship. It's a cold, lonely road, yo. You feel me? And it's like, how do you deal with that voice that's telling you, like, yo, go for the safe bet, you know, stop gambling with this shit, this, that, and the third. How do you deal with that inner voice? You feel me? That's what I want to hear.
Scared money don't make
Same
money.
thing I said before. Why not over what if?
Right.
Period. What do you have to lose? Like if you really sit, and we're talking about this at lunch, like it's so easy to be afraid. Like my man just said, we all are afraid of something. But if you really sit down and you really take the time to know yourself and assess your situation, how much you really got to lose? Honestly, like if you got a family and kids, like all right, cool. Maybe you need to think a little bit more. But if you like us, you know, 20 somethings, you know, just trying to make it do what it does, like what you really got to lose by doing what makes you happy?
I just been balling forever, y'all. I just can't stop now.
He's a great example. Like, he said he had mad businesses that didn't work out, but look at him now. He's the next big thing in this. You know what I mean? It's just about keep going. Eventually, you'll find the pieces will hit for you. Eventually,
you gotta embrace it. You gotta take the energy of the uncertainty and then just turn it into something productive. Just turn it into positive, powerful energy, and just embrace every moment of it. Because when you're uncertain, it's like because you're really invested. Like when you're uncertain, you're scared. It's because you really have passion. You really want it to work. And then when it doesn't work, you just gotta take your notes, take your lumps, get back up, and then just keep going. Like you gotta really be a savage. And you gotta be a wolf. You gotta be a wolf. Like I was watching Training Day. Yeah, I know I got mad little pieces here and there, but I was watching Training Day on the way here, and he was like Lonzo, Denzel Washington. He played the character Lonzo. He said, to be a wolf, to catch a wolf, you gotta be a wolf, and the wolf protect the sheep. So in his character, he's just basically saying like, you gotta get dirty, even though he was dirty, and he just, he's saying what he gotta say, but you gotta get dirty so you can be the baddest person, the biggest, baddest wolf on the corner. Because if you're not, then people could phase you. You know what I mean? Because you got your uncertainty inside, and you got somebody else shouting from across the corner, yo, that shit whack. And then next thing you know, you going home like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. I feel like people could sense uncertainty. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, like you could smell uncertainty of somebody. Like I could be as uncertain as I want to be leading up to whatever social thing that I'm doing, but before I walk in that door, that's another energy. Like that dude right there that just hit the sip is another dude. Like you know what I mean? Like My name Bertram, son. When I pull up as Berto, that's a different dude. Like he moves so lovely. Like I look up to him. You know what I mean? But leading up to that character coming out, you gotta you almost gotta separate your savage. Because some people don't want to be a savage 24/7, and I don't want to be a savage 24/7.
In our fantasies, I've read this from an Eat, Pray, Love, my favorites. Our fantasies, our desires, and our reality in an excuse-free world. So our fantasies are our reality in an excuse-free world.
That's a bar like that. That's a bar.
That's a
word.
bar.
That's a bar.
That's a shit like that.
I was gonna say just to piggyback off of all the both of you two. I think thinking about. I don't know. I'm more of a strategy person, so I kind of think about like when are we thinking about? What are the times that we think about that we're actually really uncertain? I think like identifying the times that you actually are uncertain about yourself is very important because you can kind of lock that in. Like if you see it's just like, all right, it's an event. Shit, I'm feeling so, all right, Henny. Whatever it is. Like, whatever you gotta do. Like I think that identifying what it is because like the reality but like the reality is we're all human, right? Like as much as we in business and we about to get a bag, like we're all human beings and we have feelings and we have, you know, real like sometimes insecurities that really kind of fall through and you have to figure out how to like actually like get control of that, and that does require you to just like
know yourself.
And sometimes knowing yourself means that you have to fail in front of people. Nobody likes to look like the jackass in front of people. And when you can do that, nobody's fucking with you. I promise you, I fucked up plenty of times in front of people. And when I realized that they're not even me and they've never been in that position, they never even tried to get to where I've ever tried to get to. They're not even trying to get the bag that I'm trying to get to. They're not even trying to be the person that I'm trying to be. Like you can't even
your
fuck with
trajectory
me.
not even right.
Yes.
Talk your shit.
That's real too.
But no, seriously, like that's. But you have to put things into perspective. I write a lot. Like I write at night. Like, all right, Lord, you know I was on my fuck shit today. So like, I literally write every night, and I really kind of just like think about the day. But when you think about it, it's just like, all right, like at this point, I was feeling a little bit shady. Like my boss was in my face, and I was just kind of like I felt like I tightened up, and it was just like. That's not even me though. And what was it about that moment that made me feel like, and what was it, that fear? If you can identify that fear, it's something that's consistently happening throughout your entire life. This isn't like a brand new thing that you just came out of nowhere. You have to really like sit down and know yourself, and that sometimes requires you to just like fuck up and really like fail a business in front of people. Sometimes it might be failing a business in front of your family. And my family's from Haiti, so they always be like, what's that last one? You know, they go in looking for all the monies, and I'm like, look, like Pagayan Club, okay? Like I ain't got it. I ain't got it right now. Right? Like I ain't got it. But I think that that's a real thing, and sometimes that just requires you to be very self-aware. Like just understanding like who you are. When people judge you, it's not personal. It's very much so they're just them projecting their ideas on you, and you have to project yourself on yourself. Like I think that that's very much so like, yo, that's like don't worry about what everybody else got to say about you. Focus on you, and if you mess up in front of everybody else, don't worry. They're not even doing what you're doing.
Project you on.
They're too scared to.
Everybody want to tell you how to do it, but they never
did it.
They've never done it.
For me personally, as far as battling that inner voice, that inner doubt, is just seeing other people put to execute the plans that I wanted, the ideas that I had.
Son, what? I was
just saying, like, just take you for instance. I've had an idea to do design and do-rags in my mind for about a year and a half, and then as of recent. People have been doing designer resurgence of that. People have been doing designer do-rags, and I'm like, damn, all that self-doubt in me, and there was a whole bunch of people that had the same idea that instead of being the makers, they could have been my consumer. You know, so the more doing it. So the more you see your ideas come to fruition from somebody else, you're gonna start thinking, man, fuck that inner voice. Just push it into plan, and if it fails, it fails. I'd rather be the person that failed and succeeded at multiple businesses than the person that didn't do anything at all.
These fucking consumers out here consuming. Yo, I love my consumers, but if you a consumer that's not my consumer, you a whack consumer. Because you just out here taking the stuff that people is giving to you. When you can make your own. Like I need you to love yourself.
Bertram.
Like love yourself.
Bertram.
You know what I mean? Yo, y'all out here spending $75. Chill. Y'all out here spending $75 for a brunch. The eggs be weak. The spinach not fresh. But you're not coming to my brunch. You're not coming to Shay brunch. What's wrong with you? You
can't even grind at that brunch.
You can't even grind at that brunch. You at that brunch sitting there with a napkin on your lap. Come on,
Holding that twerk.
Come on. They not even playing music at your brunch. They playing fucking Nickelback. Yo, that's the end of podcast featuring everybody. It's your boy Power by Berto.
Ivana Renee.
Thank y'all for being here.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. Walk it like I talk it. Talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Woo. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. Walk it like I talk it. Talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Let's go. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. Walk it like I talk it. Woo. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Hey. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. You. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Hey.